What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another How to Play. Today I'm going to be talking about Ross Aubrey's 14th place finishing Yuga Aoyama. In this video, I'm going to be talking about, we're going to have a snapshot of the deck list while I explain what Aoyama kind of wants to do, and then we're going to talk about the strategies and tactics that this deck implores so that you can use them in the future. And then lastly, we're going to look at the deck list one last time in conjunction with the sideboard for the event and kind of piece it all together. So Aoyama is a 6 hand size, 27 health character that says response after you flip one or more foundations during your attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage, playable while committed. Very awesome. His moves get very big, very, very fast as long as he has foundations to flip. And then enhance commit. The next card you attempt to play the turn gets -1 difficulty for each of your face down foundations. I will say that does affect exclusively the number in the top left corner of your card. It does not affect the block modifier at all, so you cannot commit to try and make things easier to block. It is only playing cards on your turn. So the strategy: you cheat your kill cards. You'll have 6 or 7 face downs. You'll commit your character, and the next thing practically ignores progressive difficulty. It's very, very strong. Tons of stats using Aoyama plus the other parts of your foundation base in order to just like put stats on stats on stats. And then lastly, just like having classic Earth Disruption is one of the key things that I'm sure got him there. So let's talk about the kill cards. Being able to play Howitzer, Impact Cyclone, Prominence Burn, Hardened Uppercut at -3, -4, -10 difficulty, super late in your chain, is incredibly powerful. Howitzer, Impact Cyclone, being able to steal momentum, draw bonus cards, Prominence Burn, clearing cards out of your card pool for progressive while still burning your opponent and progressing your game state that way. And then Hardened Uppercut says destroy 2 face down foundations. We love face down foundations. I would love to get rid of these face downs, keep myself out of deadlock, build fresh ones to then flip and then play another Hardened Uppercut. Drawing multiple Prominence Burns in a turn must feel absolutely stellar inside of this deck. Especially if we're, throwing out a ton of stats, right? Things like Brute Strength and Fastest Flame saying lose 1 health or destroy any of your foundations for +1 damage. And then Fastest Flame saying flip your fire attack gains 2 speed. You then respond with Aoyama to give it another +1 speed, +1 damage. So 1 Fastest Flame represents 4 stats. 2 from Fastest Flame, 1 more speed from Aoyama, 1 damage from Aoyama. That's a ton for a flip ability. And then you've got Tight Lipped itself of flip 1 foundation, your attack gets +1 damage. This in conjunction with things like Brute Strength of destroy this foundation says that you just get so much value from Tight Lipped. It is staggering just how big you make with all these little +1, +1, +1, +1s. Incredible. Onto a little bit of the disruption of what the deck wants to do. This is just classic Earth Disruption, right? Learning the standards, seizing the advantage, flipping their cool piece. Hey, if I have face down foundations, you have face down foundations. Giving a little extra speed, building a face down so that it counts as not only as a foundation, but it's a face down foundation for Aoyama's effect to commit, and then minus the speed. Learning the standards, saying that after you take damage from an unblocked attack, any amount of damage reduction, or if the move is like a poke leading into or jab leading into some big kind of haymaker, you tell them, hey, you gotta play something in the middle. And then Apathetic is really cool in this deck because it says enhance flip : so when I flip and pay my cost, I respond with Aoyama on my move, give it +1/+1, and then I selectively flip your problem card. So this card is not only disruption, but it's also an aggro card in our deck. It's really, really cool tech. And so now let's take a look back again at what's going on with the list. 4 Prominence Burn, 3 Howitzer Impact Cyclones, Naval Laser Beam, Hardened Uppercut. These are all absolutely massive bombs that I'm super down to play very late in my chain. Naval Laser Beam being able to unflip cards, Hellflame Stomp and Rapid Punches being premier low attack 4 difficulty moves that I'm down to put some stats on. The single plus Ultra saying that like things get double speed and then Aoyama has no problem finding the damage. Let's talk a little bit about the foundation base, right? Let's look at the ones that flip. Chivalrous Competitor says we both draw a card and then +1/+1. Press Conference says my next one is 1 easier to play, +1/+1. Prehensile Tail says I add an attack to my hand, +1/+1. Snack Time, we already talked about it. Fastest Flame, we already talked about it. Snack Time at the 1 of is so interesting because that has Deadlock Enhance, flip 1 foundation : so any foundation I want, draw 1 card. That says flip 1 foundation, any foundation I want, +1/+1. Draw 1 card. Incredible in this character. I'm surprised we're not playing more of it. And then just things like triple apathetic to make sure my opponent can't play cards. At time of recording, One of Nature is currently banned. It got banned right after this event, and so like any time that we had these add a bonus card to our hand, we always just instantly got rid of it with One of Nature. But now let's take a look a little bit at the sideboard. Obviously, I haven't talked to these players at all about what their sideboard is, so I could be a little off base here. But things like the extra plus ultra to stop the All Might decks, face shield for stopping throws and jolts, learning the standard just to pack in an extra, and we're only mainboarding one learning, and that card's incredibly disruptive. I wonder how many times he cited into Endeavor 2. Kind of does a very similar thing of like, hey, I can kind of pump some free stats without the sacrificing my stage. But the big thing that Endeavor 2 gets is he gets some real defense. He says minus speed, minus damage to my opponent's moves, whereas Aoyama gets to play Prominence Burn instead of being on a 7 sometimes. He plays it on like a 3 or even a 0 sometimes, where Endeavor just doesn't get to do that. Double forcing to kind of check things like Mineta, and then Howitzer impact Cyclone at the 1 red guard. Interesting. I'm interested to see when you would put in the Howitzer or the red guard. Maybe Howitzer for like the longer games, destroying your foundations, drawing more cards, having more options, and the red guard's just like a good block. And the last one's just Treshi Cape. I'm sure this card comes in when it comes to Deadlock. I don't know how many of these cards are ranged. I think it might just be burn, and then laser beam. But the important part here is this card says first enhance, commit, unflip one of your cool cards. So like being able to unflip your competitors, unflip your apathetics feels very, very solid. So with that said, again, big shout outs to Ross Aubrey for his 14th place finish with Aoyama. Congratulations to them. And if you like this video and you want to see all the other how to plays of how to play these tournament winning decks, make sure you check out the other ones in the playlist, as well as the ones that I've done on all the other tournaments. With that said, you guys, thank you much for watching. And as always, I wish you well.